guys, in this video I'd like to talk about HSK teaching materials. HSK series materials are classic textbooks for learning Mandarin. However, some vocabulary is out of date or the expressions are not authentic. So I made this video to talk about those expressions. I would use examples from HSK1 and HSK2. So this video is divided into two parts. The first part, I will talk about some critical expressions in the materials. And the second part, I'd like to give you some suggestions. Okay, let's start. Expressions do not fit the context, which means we would not use the kind of expression in the real communication. For example, HSK2, Lesson 3. When the woman referred to her husband, she said 丈夫. 丈夫 is also means husband, but it's usually used in written language and it's more formal. So obviously this conversation is in a spoken language, so we would say 老公 instead.
老公，这是我儿子，这是我老公。
喂，老公。
哎，老婆。
Lesson 4. When someone got the birthday gift and the person said 太谢谢你了. This expression is more Western than Chinese. In Chinese, 太谢谢你了 is often used when somebody has given you a lot of help. It's a big help rather than just a polite expression of gratitude. So in this context, you just want to express your appreciation for the gift you have received, and 谢谢 would be the just right word. 我的钱包丢了，里面有我的身份证和银行卡。你好，这是你的钱包吗？啊，太谢谢你了。Lesson 8. Someone asked for services and he called the waiter 服务员. I don't know, maybe it's also a Western thing, because both my friend and I, we think that it's a little awkward to address waiters directly, because we think 服务员 is a word that represents someone's identity, and it's inappropriate to call someone with their identity. So usually, I just look at them, I said 你好, and then they will come to serve me. Lesson 9. Someone called the wrong number, so he apologized with 对不起. In such case, we would say 不好意思 instead, because 对不起 is usually used when you make a serious mistake and you apologize for it. But 不好意思 is apologize for a lesser extent, usually maybe because you have disturbed someone. Oh, 不好意思，你欺骗了我。对不起。Inadequate expressions, which means the textbook only uses one expression to introduce a conversation under certain circumstances. But in the real life, we have multiple expressions depending on the situation. The way to introduce the greeting is 你好 in HSK1 and HSK2. To be honest, I'm glad I didn't see 你好吗 in the textbook, because that's a textbook would introduce like in 20 years ago. And maybe you already know that Chinese people never say 你好吗. But 你好 is a greeting to someone you know for the first time. So there are other ways to greet, like hi, hello, or maybe when you bump an acquaintance or friend in the street, you would say 你去哪儿？去吃饭啊？ Sometimes you don't really want to know where they would go or what are they going to do. It's just kind of greeting. The situation is obsolete, which means the context is hardly seen in China, but it's still included in the textbook. HSK 2, Lesson 3. They are talking about delivering newspapers and milks, but those things they are like 20 years ago. It's like an antique in China. At least I didn't see any delivering newspaper or milk in the cities. Now we have electronic devices, so young people they read the news on their phones. And for milks, it's easy to get at any supermarket or convenience store downstairs. I don't want you to have wrong expressions about China. Overall, HSK teaching materials as the classic materials, they are very suitable for Mandarin learners. It's just hard to learn expression in different contexts only through textbooks. So I highly recommend you to learn from different channels like cartoons. I recommend you Peppa Pig and the website Bilibili. It's like the Chinese version of YouTube. You can see many videos made by Chinese people. Okay, that's all for this video. Hope you have a good journey in learning Mandarin. Bye.